Woody, Tim McMahon, they're going to get up with us, and Seth Greenberg's going to be here to talk the Sweet 16. What a big day in hoops. What a big night in hoops. As we begin with our game of the night, it was the Lakers and Pacers coming into this one. LeBron, he scored 10-plus points in 1,282 straight games. That's a streak that goes back to 2007. When Jeff Passan still had glorious hair. Surrounded by three Pacers. Monica McNutt, this was happening early on. He was surrounded, but he found the open guy to make the open shot.
Spoiler alert, LeBron James triple-double in this game. He totally understands that he's got to be a secondary engine to Luka Doncic. And when he draws multiple defenders, here we go again, he's making the right.
He did, however, start a little bit slow. 3 points, 0 for 6 from the field, 7 assists through 3 quarters. He was doing everything else. Let's pick this thing up. Fourth quarter, James at 5 points. Again, we're trying to extend the streak to 1283, just 3 points away from 10 now. Now just 1 point away. Long live the streak. Lakers lead 105-92. 5 minutes to play. Pacers on a run. Miles Turner gets him back in this one. Pacers now up 3.
This game was down to the wire, and it has implications in the standings in the Eastern Conference, but the Lakers so much balance in this one behind a monster 34 from Luka.
That ties it at 110. Next possession, Doncic inside off the glass. Lakers now lead by 2. 19 seconds left. Pacers trail by 2. Look at Tyrese Halliburton. He exposed Doncic here, got the bucket, 16 points, 18 assists. Good.
Ooh, Barry, this one's going down to the wire.
And in fact, 119-118, LeBron. Here's Mark Jones.
Down court. Luka with 2 for the win. Tipped up and in. LeBron James at the buzzer. Not always there when you call, but always on time.
Slower start, but it doesn't matter. It's how you finish, and he finished with the game winner. Lakers snap their losing streak, 120-119 in peak LeBron fashion. Here he was after the game talking about the buzzer beater.
To be honest, I didn't know how I felt because I was just trying to see if I was trying to look at the jumbotron to see if I got it off. But you know, this team has been playing extremely well in the Pacers, man, and we haven't been the last few games. So it was great to come into a hostile environment and get a win in that fashion.
Again, it doesn't matter how you start, it matters how you finish. Tim McMahon with us, Monica McNutt with us throughout the morning to talk about this game and NBA. And Monica, I want to start with you. Your reaction to the buzzer beater in a game where, admittedly, LeBron didn't have his best.
Also, user error. Did not have a triple-double. I can't read.
13 and 7, double-double.
Very close, double-double. Look, to me, one of the things that I loved after this one, and I don't know if you noticed this at all, Tim, was the way that these guys celebrated, right? This trade obviously happens February. There's a lot of pressure. Can these guys get it going? 2 dynamic talents. But I think the way you saw Luka smiling toward the end is just, to me, another indicator that this chemistry is trending in the right direction. Yes, they're coming off of a stretch of losing games, a stretch of guys being in and out due to injury. But if they can stay cohesive and continue to gel down the stretch, to me, it's no doubt that these guys are a real contender for what's happening in the West.
Yeah, Tim, your thoughts on him coming up clutch at the end?
I mean, the man has a flair for the dramatic in every sense of the phrase. And yes, they were coming off a tough stretch. He's fresh back off of an injury. He had a rough 3 quarters, turned it on in the 4th quarter. There at the end, though, 8th buzzer beater of his career. This one's different, though. This one is a 40-year-old man who is still the strongest, most athletic guy on the floor, just out-muscling everybody, out-elevating everybody with the game on the line, getting it done. And, yeah, how could you not smile if you're Luka Doncic and you see your teammate do that while you're flat on your back?
Especially with the losing streak coming in, and Monica made a good point about the chemistry, the celebration of a regular season game with 10 games left. You had mentioned the 8th career game-winning buzzer beater for LeBron, including the playoffs. That is tied for 2nd most all-time with Kobe Bryant, trailing only the great Michael Jordan. So, Timmy Mack, put this into perspective in terms of the 10-point streak away from the buzzer beater. How impressive this is that it's going back to 2007.
I mean, it's incredible. What is it, 400 some odd games or something longer than the next longest double-figure scoring streak in NBA history? And honestly, it's as much about durability as it is about dominance. Obviously, he's had some injuries recently over the years. The fact, though, he's not had to leave a game earlier than he scored 10 points. It's amazing. And look, if he's finishing the game, he'll get to double figures. And last night, he turned it on in the fourth quarter, and they needed him to because they needed to lift at that point of the game.
What were you doing in 2007?
I literally was like, I graduated high school in 2007.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh my gosh, my old high school in 2007?
Shout out to them Holy Cross Titans.
My goodness. I was in some small market doing TV trying to get to ESPN.
You were trying to get to Dallas, Barry. You were trying to go cover up Dallas high schools with me
That's
at the
right.
time.
That's right. You know what? You're right. I started in Dallas in 2008 at the NBC stage. That means I was in Columbia, South Carolina.
Look at you making it happen.
And here I am with Monica McNutt.
Hey, we made it.
Who was the valedictorian. Maybe not.
Not.
10 games left.
Yep.
Quickly, what do they need to do to establish legitimacy as contenders? I'm
going to say this, and I hope it's not taken for granted. Stay healthy. For one. But I think they're there, Barry. First of all, the only thing that we're all confident in, and by we, I mean my colleagues here at ESPN, seems to be that the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to be one of the last two teams standing. But the idea that the Lakers need to do anything else, they are going to be a contender. The West is that jam-packed. I was at the Garden last night. The Clippers were here. To me, you can't sleep on the Clippers either, even though they're bouncing in and out of that play-in position. But the Lakers are legit contenders because they have LeBron James, because they have Luka Doncic, and they have versatile, big wings that can switch, and J.J. Redick is coaching his butt off.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how if they can get on a run in the playoffs. You know they had the talent to do it. We know there was some news with LeBron yesterday. Before they won it for the Lakers, he was with our Pat McAfee, and he gets asked it a lot, but how much longer does he think he can play?
It's popping up more and more every year because obviously I know I'm on the other side of the hill than the previous side. For me, it's my mind. I am all about the process. I am all about the process, and if it gets to the point where I don't feel like showing up to the arena 5 hours in advance, or I don't feel like training, or I don't feel like studying the scout sheet of guys. If it gets to that point, I know, you know what, Bron, it's a wrap.
All right, so Timmy Mack, he was asked the question, so he had to answer it. But what was your reaction to the comments about the retirement question?
Yeah, I don't think LeBron minds answering that question. I mean, he's been answering that question and frankly, inviting that question for a couple of years now. I anticipate there will be drama about is LeBron coming back every single summer moving forward, but it's going to be for a few summers at least because I cannot imagine, I cannot see this guy seriously considering retiring when he's still playing at an all-NBA level at a team that has a legitimate chance to do damage and in, I think, the near future, maybe not right now, but the near future, be a real championship contender.
Monica, if I put my ESPN bet hat on and said over under 4.5 more years for LeBron, what would you take?
I'm going to take the over.
That's 5.
Because his son Bryce is going to Arizona. And I know that he poo-pooed this even in that interview, that he wasn't necessarily waiting for Bryce.
Yeah.
But if he's got a shot between the opportunity to win, as Tim just pointed out, and continue to make more history and do it with his family, he's still so impactful and successful right now at this point. And so I actually really felt him on when my mind is checked out, then I'll roll out. But if we're just talking about him in terms of his physical ability right now, I don't see why he can go 5 more.
And Luka could be another fountain of youth. They are built for the run. Coming up with Luka Doncic in his prime. We'll talk to Tim McMahon coming up in just a bit. 2007, by the way, McMahon had a full head of hair.
Wow, we need the photo.
That's how long ago that was. Guys, thank you. We'll get back to you
in just voluntary.
a bit. Look, you know what? And you make it look good. Let's go to the NFL now, where some teams are hoping a quarterback or two will make them look good with a little hurry up. Adam, I want to start with the Browns. What are their plans at quarterback now that Russell Wilson is officially a Giant?
Well, I think that they would have been interested in Russell Wilson. I think we'll just start with the